Hi there, my fellow Java programmer. In this episode, you'll meet an interesting but complex stream method, and it's the reduce method. What does it do? When would you use it? How do you use it? You'll find out in this episode, so let's get started. In the Potus Test class from last episode, create a new test method and call it reduce. Then copy the Trump line again. You simply want to work on the first president of the list, which is Trump. And then you're going to work on his wives again. But this time, imagine you want to calculate the total number of children that Trump has. And there's a couple of ways of doing that. You could use a good old for loop, but I want you to use stream. So write .stream and then .reduce. And before we talk about the reduce method, let's rearrange the code a tiny bit to make it simpler to read. Now, what does reduce do? You'll see in a second, but in simple words, when you scroll up, you see that Trump has 3 wives, Melania, Mala, and Ivana. The reduce method lets you specify a function that will be applied to always 2 elements of that stream, so Melania and Mala. And then the function will combine these 2 elements into one, and then it will combine that result with Ivana in this case, and any other stream item. Complex words, let's see it in action. So scroll down again, and then try to write wife 1, wife 2. These are our 2 wives. And then wife get children.size plus wife 2 get children.size. So what our function does is when you have 2 wives like Melania and Ivana, you call wife get children.size and add it with the other wives children.size. And you run through the whole stream, and at the end you have a total count, which should be the number of his children. Unfortunately, you get a compile error, and when you look at it, you'll see that int cannot be converted to wife because the way you're using reduce at the moment, you cannot convert between types. That means you have a wife stream, a stream full of wives. You want an int as a result type. That doesn't work. There's a couple of workarounds for that. So the first approach could be simply convert the stream of wives to a int stream. So every wife will get turned into wife get children.size. Then you don't have wives here anymore, but you have count 1 and count 2. And then you could simply actually delete all that, and you could simply call count 1 plus count 2. Sounds good, but actually extract that whole block to a variable, count of children. And you'll see that the type is optional int, not an integer, because the reduce method could return you an integer if there's wives in the list or in the stream. But if the stream is empty, then there's no number that the reduce method could return to you. And for that, there's a different syntax. You can specify a start value like 0. So it should be 0 in any case, and then add everything on top of 0. Then the syntax changes a bit because now this isn't count 1 and count 2 anymore. This is the sum of the already aggregated stream items. Then this is count, and then you would write sum plus count. Now you get a compile error because this time when you now extract a variable, you see total number of children is an integer because you will get back 0 in any case. Now let's actually print that out and run the test and see if it works. And you'll see total number of children equals 5. And if you want to double check manually, let's just quickly scroll back up. You see Barron, Tiffany, Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka, and Eric makes 5 children. Good, great. So let's see if we can clean this up even more, because I want to get rid of the map to int function here and actually convert between types. So I want to have a wife stream and then get an integer back. So let's delete that. Then in here, we can again start with 0. You now have a wife here again. Then it's a sum plus wife get children.size. And then you need to specify another function, a combiner function, and that is simply going to be sum1, sum2, sum1 plus sum2. Now here's where things get confusing, but first of all, let's run the test again. And this time, again, you'll see total number of children 5, and it actually worked. So you don't have to convert to an instream, but you can call reduce and even convert between types when using the reduce method. Now, why do you need a separate function here? Why do you need that combiner function here? But it's the transition to the next episode already. Congratulations, you now know how to use the reduce method. And in the next episode, you'll learn more about parallel streams, which in turn will also help you to understand why we had to use the combiner method just a couple of seconds ago. So let's get right after it.